Today we're going to talk about saving and investing. What does invest in yourself mean? To invest in yourself means to increase your earning power. This can be done by studying hard, earning good grades now, and saving money to pay for college. So we've been talking about borrowing money through credit cards and loans. Now we're going to switch gears and talk about saving and investing. Saving can help people reach their financial goal. Saving takes discipline and commitment, but if you save early and you save often, you can reach your goal. So there are so many different ways to save money, and you guys probably know several examples. I'm sure you're thinking of great ideas right now to jot down, and we'll talk more about those on Monday. So it takes discipline and commitment. So discipline, we should know a little bit about discipline and commitment. Saving is a lot harder than it thinks. A lot of people struggle with this discipline. They struggle with saving money. If you have a couple dollars, you're going to go spend it on candy. You're going to go to the Bulldog Buck store. You're going to spend it. You have it. That's what it's there for. But if there's something you really want, there's this video game that I really want to buy. Or I know that on Friday, I really want to go to Dairy Queen and I want to be able to buy whatever this meal. So you've got to train yourself on when to save and when to buy. How can a financial institution help people save? So we talked about financial institutions being banks. So how can banks help people save money? Well, they make it a little bit easier by offering a few advantages. They make it easier to save money by removing the temptation to spend money. So they offer things such as savings accounts or CDs and other various investments that allow you to take your money and place it in a secure location so the temptation to spend it is gone. So out of sight, out of mind. They also keep your money safe because all financial institutions are insured. So if something happens, the drop in the stock market or there's a fraud issue, your money is safe and secure because banks are insured. Money in savings accounts earn interest. So this is really what we're going to focus on today is earning interest. So we talked about interest when you borrow money. So if you took out that $1,000 easy access loan, not only did you have to pay back the $1,000, you also had to pay back a fee or interest. So interest when borrowing money isn't the best thing, but interest when you're saving money is fantastic. So you're basically earning money just for keeping your money in the bank. Different people save money for different reasons, including to make large purchases such as higher education, so college and other certification programs, automobiles, and homes. So at this point, you guys probably aren't thinking about buying cars and homes, but you may have thought about college. Retirement, and again, this is a long way off for a lot of you, but retirement is very important for your future. Most people pay into what is called Social Security, which is a retirement system. So it keeps their money safe. It's like a big savings account that you can't touch, you can't take money out of until you retire. Most teachers in Texas pay into the teacher retirement system. It's another type of savings account for your money. Unexpected events, this could be a health crisis or something like your car breaking down, just any event that could cause you to spend more money than you normally do, anything out of your normal spending habits. People's choices about how much to save and for what to save change considerably over the course of their lives and are based on their tastes and preferences. I bet you there are so many things that you loved last year that you would never do this year. So as you get older and as you mature, your tastes will change. So maybe buying that next pair of shoes isn't as important as saving for books for school. So today we're going to talk about calculating simple interest. So there are various types of interest. Today we're going to talk about simple interest. Interest is money paid by banks and others for the use of depositors' money. So when you choose a bank to put your money in, they are holding your money, they're keeping it safe. But a bank, like any other company, is a corporation. They want to make money. So they use depositors' money for investments. So no matter what investment choices they make, your money is secured. You will always have your money that you put into the account. Simple interest is earned using the formula interest equals P times R times T. So the first variable, I, stands for the amount of interest, so the amount of interest earned. When dealing with simple interest, the amount of interest earned can be calculated by taking the principal amount, remember is the original amount deposited, times the interest rate, and your rate will be given as a percent. Remember we said the percents need to be converted into a decimal, times the time in years. So if you were to deposit an amount of money into a savings account at a certain rate for 12 months, that would need to be converted into 1 year. So interest equals principal times rate times time. So let's take an example and apply that. Aiden makes regular deposits to a savings account to save money for college. He's going to deposit $1,000 at the start of each year into an account that pays 4% interest at the end of each year. So every year he's going to put another $1,000 into this account, and every year is going to earn 4% interest. He does not deposit the interest. How much interest does Aiden's account earn the first year? So before we begin using the formula, let's have a little discussion about what is happening. So he's opening a savings account to save for college. We know that he's going to deposit or put in $1,000 every year. So then we have a situation where we're earning 4% interest. So every year, at the end of the year, the bank is going to take a look at how much money is in that account. They're going to multiply that by 4%, and then they're going to have an amount of interest earned. So he's going to earn money for just putting his money away into an account. But then it says he does not deposit the interest. This means that whatever money he earns for keeping it in a savings account, he's not going to then keep in the savings account. Maybe he withdraws it and spends it, or maybe he takes that money and moves it into another account. So the reason this whole situation is called simple interest is because he's earning interest only on what he deposits in the account. Whatever money that he earns is not then earning interest. That's called compound interest, and we'll talk about that at a later date. So this is simple interest because he's not depositing the interest. So it says use the formula for simple interest. I equals principal times rate times time. So the interest is found by doing the principal amount, the $1,000, times the rate, 4%. But remember, we want this to be a decimal, so we'll do 400ths, times time. And it says each year, so we know this is going to talk about for 1 year. So to find the amount of interest he earns in the first year, interest equals the $1,000 principal times 400ths, which was our rate. Oops. Sorry about that. Times 1 year. This will yield $40. So Aiden earns $40 just for putting his money into the account. So he's then going to take that $40 and maybe he's going to spend it, or maybe he's going to put it into a separate account. But the only thing in his savings account at the end of the year is the $1,000 that he put in. So let's take a look at what this looks like over time. It says complete the table to show how the interest Aiden earned grows over time. Remember, he does not deposit the interest earned. So the first row shows the deposit phase 1, that means the first year. We started with no money. He deposited his $1,000 so that he had $1,000 at the end of the year. Well, at the end of the year, his account is going to earn 4% interest. So we find 4% of $1,000 by doing the balance times 400. So 1,000 times 400 will yield $40. So we did this one already. So he earns $40, but he's going to take this $40 and spend it or withdraw it, or maybe he's going to put it into a separate account. So when the next year starts, we have the $1,000 that he deposited. Well, it's a new year. Aiden's going to deposit another $1,000. Okay, well, 1,000 plus another 1,000 will give us $2,000. Well, it's the end of the second year. He's going to earn 4% interest. So again, we're going to multiply by 400. 2,000 times 400 will give us $80. So this year we earned $80. So we can see there's an increase in the amount of interest earned because there was an increase in the amount of money in the account. So as our balance increases, the amount of interest is also increasing because 4% of a larger number yields a larger amount of interest. So this pattern is going to continue. Let's go ahead and take a look at what this looks like over time. And you can fill these values in on your table. But we can see for year 3, we start off with 2,000, add another 1,000, we end up with 3,000. We're going to earn 4% interest, so 3,000 times 400 gives us 120. We're going to take that 120, put it into a separate account, and keep going. So the only amount of money that we're ever keeping in the account is the deposits that Aiden is making. But take a look at this interest column. Look at all of this money that he's earning just by putting money into an account and not spending it. Imagine what would happen if we took all of this money and put that into the savings account. But that would be an example of compound interest. So let's reflect. It says, how much interest did Aiden's account earn from the initial deposit to the end of year 5? So we want to know how much interest did he earn from 0 to 5 years. We also want to know how much interest from the start of year 6 to the end of year 10. And how do these values compare? So if we look at those, we can see that from the start to year 5, he earns $600 interest. And then from year 6 to the end of year 10, he earns $1,600. And we kind of talked about this. It says the more interest is earned in later years as deposits are made. If money is saved regularly, the amount of interest increases over time. So our interest rate stayed the same, but as our amount of money in the account increased, the amount of interest earned also increased. Number 2, what is the total amount saved from the initial deposit to the end of year 5? And then what's the total amount saved from the start of year 6 to the end of year 10? And it says include the amount contributed and the interest. So we want to know how much money did he deposit into the account and how much interest was earned. So from the start to 5 years, that was $5,600. But then from year 6 to year 10, that was $6,600. So that's a lot of money. Just imagine what would have happened if he deposited all of that interest into a savings account. So at this time, make sure you finish out your notes, tape them into your spiral, and then begin working on your simple interest assignment.